Hello my beautiful people, my name is Marky, welcome back to my channel, and today we're gonna talk about my July art challenge. Timbo! Once again, hello everyone, my name is Marky. I have just started my own business in art, and in this video I will be talking about my July art challenge. I am a total beginner at watercolor painting, and you can tell in art generally. But I am very creative and I love to create new things. I came up with the July art challenge so I have more content to share with you, and also because I need to practice, and this was very good way how to start. There weren't any rules and I could just paint anything I like. And because I am a digital and a watercolor artist, I decided to do one of these, and watercolor won. It was actually very challenging. I really enjoyed it, but I was hoping that I'm gonna make 31 paintings in the end. So I promised that I'm gonna be painting every single day for the whole of July, but unfortunately with my full-time job and other commitments, I couldn't make it. I could make 31 paintings, but I did 20. It was very educating. I learned a lot of stuff and I kind of expand my creativity, and I found out that I actually really enjoy to paint every day. So if I would have more time, I would gladly do it all the time. Today I'm gonna talk about the paintings, why I decided to paint what I painted, and it's actually 20 of them, so we have quite a lot of stuff to go through. Let's jump into it. My first painting was this one. Its name is Let Me Help. So this painting was literally, you know, the first thing I painted after a really long time. I painted this straight away from like my head, and I didn't use any reference, and it looks like that as well. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's the first one. I really love fantasy and fairies and this kind of stuff, so that's why I decided to paint these. And yeah, that was my first one. I use obviously watercolors, but when I did these dots on the magic mushroom, I used acrylic color. So I kind of combine more stuff, as well as this is color pencil. Also, when you look at the detail on the eyes, I actually wasn't comfortable to paint with the watercolors eyes and that small one. So I made like she closed her eyes, and it was definitely much easier to do. But you know, for the other painting I promised myself that I am going to paint the eyes, and I did, so you're gonna see straight away. This is my second painting, and its name is Cherry Love. Here I actually decided to paint the eyes, and I think they kind of went well, but I still didn't figure out how to paint eyes in that time. I tried and it looked okay, but it's not the best. It is like another fairy sitting on cherries. And here I actually used reference for the body, so for the shape. So before I drew it, I drew the shape of the body, and after I made the dress and everything. But yeah, it's still quite hard to do it from, you know, like just my mind, from my head. Everything else I did by myself. And this is the third one. Its name is Apricot Lilly. My goal actually was to draw Lilly. When I put Lilly into the Google, Apricot Lilly came up, and I thought that's actually quite pretty. So I draw the flower from a photograph. This I just draw myself. This is actually painting which I'm kind of proud of, and it was the first one I felt quite confident about because of the eyes, which actually went quite well, and also the lips. But also I think I kind of managed to use the colors quite well and properly. The paper I use, it's not professional aquarelle paper, it's more really just for practicing. It's 300 grams, and let me show you actually. This is the paper I used to do. So for some of them I used the size A5, this is A4. It has really deep texture to it, and it's 300 grams. And it's not bad, but you know, when you when I watch videos about how to use aquarelles, watercolors, I found out that you actually should use 100% cotton for your art. Obviously it's not very expensive, but it's quite expensive. That's why I didn't use it as well for the practicing, because there's no point if, you know, the painting's just gonna sit at home. And I think for the practicing it's quite better if you use just, you know, different paper, not the 100% one. Especially if you practice like every day, because I think with the price was, especially when you're a beginner like me, I am beginner. I actually started to just paint and I did quite a research, but I decided to use for the practicing not cotton watercolor paper, but just a normal one. Yeah, simple one. This one is actually quite good, still quite good. But what I found out when I was painting, and that's what you're gonna see on my fourth painting, which is this one. It's Green Witch. But as you can see when you look close, when I use the green color, I actually wanted to do gradient color, and I wanted to shade it a little bit, but you can't really layer colors on this paper. The paper started to crumble and it started to wave a lot, and actually the colors doesn't look that smooth how I would like to, but it's also because the paper just didn't took it quite well, and you can see there's patches which I didn't like, and the painting is quite okay, but yeah, with the watercolors you kind of want the smooth gradual transition between the shades, but with this paper I couldn't do it, and it was very hard to do it on the different ones as well. So I'm actually planning to buy the cotton paper, and I want to at least try how the colors react on that paper, because I feel like on this paper it just wasn't good. Yeah, so this is my painting, Green Witch. I really like the combination of the colors, and I really wanted to try something else, but you can see as well when I tried to mix the colors over here, it just didn't end up really well. It's still okay, but well, practicing. Next one is my painting, Nice to Meet You. Very modern mermaid meeting a little pink fish. I was working a whole day and I was really tired, so I painted these very late. I actually didn't really know what to paint, and I just asked my friend. I was like, what I should paint? And she was like, maybe Little Mermaid with a fish. So I painted Little Mermaid with a fish. I didn't like the hair. I messed up the hair. I actually wanted to make it more smooth and gradient. I started to mix the colors too soon, and with water it just melted and it's just not nice. I know that you actually can lift watercolor from your paintings, but not from this paper really. If you do it with this paper you can lift it, but how I said, the paper is gonna start to crumble and it's just not nice, so I just left it like that, and I was like, you know what, practicing. You learn from your mistakes, and that was my mistake. Okay, another one is, and I actually love this one. So this one was, after all this painting, the first one, I was like, yeah, that's really good, and that's what I'm gonna actually draw in digital as well. Maybe differently, but this is the kind of picture I'm gonna draw digitally. This is the Rainbow Tarot Reader, and I love tarots. I don't do tarots. I love when the tarot readers read my cards, for my future and everything. This is supposed to be Sakura. Maybe some of you guessed. And I know there is not purple one, or maybe there is, but I just don't know it. That was the first painting I was very proud of. For this one, I actually used body reference. So before I drew the dress, I draw body reference from a picture, and I did the body, and after I did the rest. And here actually I love the eyes, which I drew a little bit differently. I used not a black color, but more brownish, which I feel like it's definitely much better than just black. But for this picture it was definitely much better, and I just really love this one. I really enjoyed it, and it's just so, I don't know, soft and magical, and I'm definitely painting these digitally, and I hope it's gonna be okay. I hope it will turn out well. So as I said in my last video, my goal for this month, which is August, is to practice my digital drawing, digital art. So that's what I'm gonna focus on, and that's what my first painting is gonna be. It's gonna be exactly that. Maybe not exactly, maybe I'm gonna change it a little bit, but yeah, that's the plan. Neon Dream. Here we go, and as you can see, it's really colorful, really neon, and I kind of took inspiration from these, because in this one I used these two colors and I really love them, so I wanted to use something similar in the next picture. I used body reference. So I don't use head references, I use body reference. And I use this shape and her legs and everything. So I tried well, I'm still learning, and to draw body shapes for me is still quite challenging and hard. So sometimes when I want to do something a little bit, you know, with a movement or a little bit complicated, I use the body reference. And next one is this beautiful tribe mermaid, which I named as Colourful Flow. I named it like this because of the jellyfish. Because jellyfish in a spiritual world is kind of is the sign of like movement and flow and slow and steady. And I kind of wanted to name it in a like similar way. And I wanted to do something a little bit, you know, tribal and organic, so I did, and the mermaid turned out like this. And actually from this point, not just from this point, also the previous two pictures, I started to be more confident in drawing like different shapes and play with the colors. Also, I'm very proud of the eyes and the lips because I kind of got into a point where I started to paint it better. And also, I just love to combine colors, a lot of colors. Would be quite cool to make suit like that, right? Oh, maybe, and in this point, I should actually talk about what colors I used, right? The brand is Arteza, which is these beautiful, beautiful pigments. Not pigments, they are watercolors, but they have amazing pigment. As you've seen on this picture, and this color, and how bright they can be, and how beautifully you can combine them, I've used these watercolors, and they come in these beautiful tubes. How many milliliters it is? 12. They are non-toxic colors, and I really like them. I really love the pigment. The pigment is really strong, so if you paint it with if you mix it with the water, of course it will always kind of like melt, and the shade is a little bit lighter, but it's still really beautiful, and the shade kind of stay the same. So I'm gonna show you, for example, from these box. As you can see, this is the colors from the box. The pigments are lovely. It's really beautiful, and they actually very beautiful on the paper, as you can see. Where's the painting? Ooh, here we go. You can see that they are so nice. I actually bought these colors when I was in England, and I didn't know in that time what kind of, you know, watercolors are good and which are nice. I did some research on the YouTube, but still there's like things which are for students and for like, you know, people who just have it like a hobby, and for the professionals. And I thought that for the practicing, I'm just gonna try some not really expensive one, because of course you still need to learn, and if you use the expensive ones, it can be quite expensive on the end. The next one is Fluffy Friend. That's the name, Fluffy Friend. That's supposed to be fluffy, but it doesn't look like that on the paint as a painting. This was actually my first kind of portrait. I actually wanted to try something different because I was painting like silhouettes and ladies all the time, and I just wanted to do something a little bit more close up, because I wanted to focus on the eyes, and I wanted to try to paint them a little bit more in detail, just, you know, to do a little bit more detail, which I did, and that's how it turned out. Its name is One of a Kind, and I really wanted to play with colors and kind of combine different kind of shades, and I tried to melt colors here again, which kind of went well. But as I've said in previous pictures, the paper, when you try to layer that many colors, it starts to crumble, and I don't know if you say crumble, but maybe yes, the paper crumbled, not anything else. I'm not sure what word to use, whatever, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so that was the painting, another fairy, and I actually like the face as well. Yeah. So next one, and actually in that point, my favorite, the wind in her hair. So that's my self-portrait. And you know why? Because I used to be blonde and I have blue eyes, and that's how I would imagine myself as a fairy. So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought about myself when I was painting these, and I really adore these. I really love the colors. I played more with the eyes, blue lips, why not? Actually, the brushes, I didn't tell you about the brushes I use. So for all the paintings, I use these two brushes. They are not branded. Here is written something, but they are actually very cheap. They're synthetic, they're not quality brushes which you would use for professional watercolor art. It's just brushes which I just bought, you know, because of the shape and how they felt, kind of. But yeah, I use just these two brushes on all the paintings I'm showing you today. So not professional paper, not professional brushes. So there is still room for growth. And yeah, I've just decided, you know, that I'm gonna use what I have for the practicing, because I just really didn't want to invest that much in this point, because first of all, there's certain things which I have to pay first, and second of all, before I start to actually get into a point where I feel like, yeah, it's time to buy something more expensive and professional, I'm just gonna use these. And I think I actually got into a point where I'm gonna buy new ones, and I want to try the cotton paper and professional brushes. So that was my another painting. I really love this one, and it's just, that's another painting which I'm gonna draw digitally. Maybe a little bit differently, maybe a little different shape of the face or something. We'll see, but I really like this one. Okay, next one, another portrait and sunflowers. So this one, I actually was thinking what I should paint, and I was reminded of my mom, and my mom loves sunflowers. So that's why I decided to paint sunflowers and, you know, some different portrait. And I do love green very much, and actually my mom loves green too. Now when I realize it, I actually subconsciously draw everything what my mom likes. So yeah, sunflowers, green color, and it looks more elegant than the others. But you know, in this point I already felt a little bit, oh my Dumbo ears. I already felt quite confident with like drawing faces and eyes and everything. And yeah, I really enjoyed to make this one. So another one. Oh, and its name is Calm Sunflowers. And the next one is this one. I really love that one. In this point, I really wanted to do something what's gonna be not gonna be that soft, because everything what I painted was kind of soft, and I wanted to make something a little bit, not hard, but a little bit more like, you know, with attitude. And that's my vampire lady. And I wanted to draw bat. It's okay. It's not the best bat in the world, but I think I kind of mixed the colors well, and it's kind of striking, and I really like this one actually. So next one, flower bath. And I wanted to draw something with the blue flowers, and I really didn't decide what kind of flowers I'm gonna do, so I just literally, you know, draw shapes, and I just, you know, did a little bit of shading and everything, and that was it. When you see these little like dots and these little details, that's what I do with actually acrylic colors. I use watercolor for everything, but when I do these like little dots, it's very hard to do it with like just watercolor, because the pigment is nice, but white watercolor is the one I have. It's actually hard to do it with these, so I use acrylic, same as I use the gold for acrylic. I'm not really sure if you have aquarelle gold color, and if you have, I don't think it's that shiny like acrylic, so that's why I use these. The acrylic color which I actually use is so that's my bag of acrylic colors which I bought during the last 3 years, because I started to like, you know, paint different kind of stuff, and I just wanted to relax. That's why I painted. The name is Liquitex, which is really nice, and they're really heavy body and the pigment is really good. And my finger is so black now. From what? I think from the colors. Well, so Liquitex is the one I use, and no, yeah, it's actually everything Liquitex. I'm not sure if you pronounce it well, but I love the pigments, and I actually bought like a big box with the colors and everything, and I had like 3 boxes in the end, so it ended up here in these, because to put these in a box and have the place to store it wasn't really good for me, so I just put it into the bag, and here we go. Flower Dream Mandala. I actually wanted to try to paint something different than just faces and bodies, and I wanted to do something different. And actually these days I wanted to do something easier, because it was really difficult in my work, and I was very tired, and my fingers are black from the colors I had. Oh, well, that's okay. I'm jumping from one theme to another, right? Well, so back to the mandala. I really wanted to do something easier. And I thought when I'm gonna paint mandala, it's gonna be easier. Ha ha ha! I ended up doing these for like really long time, till the night. And well, it turned out quite well. I really like the colors. I painted mandala like 1 year ago, just to paint it. And I painted these. I actually really liked it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do mandala. But I didn't realize how actually detailed and difficult it was last time. So when I started to paint these, I was like, yeah, I'll be done in 2 hours. You know, this is gonna be the fastest painting. But wow, no, it wasn't. It was actually the longest one. Well, is this beautiful Persephone. So in this point, I wanted to draw something different, but still the same. And I actually, guys, I was so tired from my work and everything that I was like, I was trying to find something easy to paint. But in the end, when you practice and everything, you just want it to look nice and kind of cute. So, you know, it doesn't matter how hard you try to do it quickly, it will still take time. So, and I decided to paint these, and this character this is actually more like a fan art. This is not from my head, this is from the Olympus comics. I'm not sure if you know it, but it's really popular in this time, and I read the comics since the beginning. I think it might be like 3 or 4 years now. Maybe 3 years, I'm not really sure. 3 or 4 years. And I really love these, and this is actually Persephone, and Persephone is now queen of the underworld. And she is the wife of underworld king Hades. I really like the comics, and you should read it. The writer is Rachel Smythe, is it? Or Raquel? I'm not sure if you pronounce her as Rachel Smythe or Raquel, because I have a friend from Israel, and her name is Racheli. So I know that sometimes, you know, you just pronounce it differently. Sometimes it's Rachel, sometimes it's Rachel, sometimes it's Rachel. So definitely check these comics out. It's on Webtoon. And it's really good. The story is amazing, so that's why I drew it as well. I'm big fan of these. So Persephone. And next painting, of course, if you paint mandalas, you paint mandalas, right? And I decided to paint another one because I actually really enjoyed it. So this one is my Night Butterfly mandala. I just wanted to paint mandala again. I don't know why, I just felt like it, and you know, I try to follow my feelings and my intuition. Maybe I'm gonna do more of them, and maybe I'm gonna do something with them. So we'll see. Stay tuned. We'll see what I'm gonna create. When I did these beautiful Queen Persephone, I did these beautiful King Hades, and they actually wife and husband. So my next drawing was King Hades, and this is again from the comics Olympus by Rachel Smythe or Raquel Smythe. This was actually my favorite scene from the comics, when Zeus banned Persephone from the Olympus and the underworld, and he actually started to turn into like these angry Hades, and I really love these. I actually add eyes, so on the original picture Hades has like these white bright eyes, but when I had it on the painting, it didn't look that cool. On these it looks so good on the actual digital drawing in the comics when it's done there, but I just decided to do eyes, you know, and make him a little bit angry. So this is another fun art, and definitely check out the Lore Olympus. It's really good story, and it's actually made into books now as well. I already bought 2 and I still need to buy the other ones. So here we go. It's Lucky Swan Mandala. So this one is for luck actually. So look at it, guys. And I hope these will bring you lots of luck in your life. And these, how I said, I just wanted to draw another mandala. And I know they're quite different, that when you see mandalas normally from the Indian culture, it's a little bit, it's different. There's like shapes, and I'm not really sure if the shapes mean something or you just intuitively draw what you feel like. But that's what I do. When I paint mandalas, I just intuitively draw what I like to see on the paper, on the mandala. And here we go. Another one and last one, guys, is this beautiful pretty boy. Pretty boy with like red hair. I actually wanted to paint male again, just because, you know, after practicing and training and to feel more comfortable. But when you see the face, it still has quite delicate features and kind of feminine features. So that's what I mean, you know, when I paint face, I kind of tend to give to it delicate features. And I would like to be able to actually draw not just like soft looking boy, but also like man looking man. So that's the plan. And again, I use, for these details, I use acrylic and like a heavy body acrylic color. But otherwise everything else is watercolor, and here you can see actually the beautiful pigment from the watercolor. And I really like it. This is watercolor as well. Yeah, the pigment is really nice, really good. So that's my last painting actually for the July Art Challenge, guys. I wish I would be able to do 31, but don't worry, there's still a lot of art to come, and I will still be, you know, drawing and painting and actually do the digital art as I promised. So that's what's gonna be during the August. I'm gonna try to post more, but definitely I'm not gonna post that much art as I was posting now, because some of them I really think it's gonna take me a few like days to make or something. So yeah, so this is the paintings.
I actually love how far I have come since the start of the art challenge. I've learned what I like, what I can do, and where I am lacking, and I would recommend everyone to do these. I couldn't do the full month, but it still had its own results, and I finally have some pieces which I could show you. So if you want to see more and what I'm actually up to, please subscribe to my channel. I post regularly every Friday, and I would actually love to see you here.
So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for staying till the end. Please, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I'm gonna see you next week in my next video, which is going to be about my trip to Slovenia, where I'm heading right now. So take care, guys. Thank you again. Thank you very much for everything, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye.